This episode is sponsored by True Choice Insurance. Here at True Choice, we take a different philosophy when it comes to providing you with your insurance options. We emphasize the value of the products we offer, instead of playing on the fear of you not being protected in your time of need. True Choice is affiliated with more than 60 insurance companies. This makes us one of the most independent agencies in the state of Texas. Please visit TrueChoiceInsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
Yo, welcome to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm the host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. In today's show, we got a lot to unpack. I know everybody's been seeing the media, what they're talking about, but today is interesting, man. Kwame Brown, Sharpe. Kwame Brown strikes again. But at this time, I want to thank everybody that's stayed tuned and been rocking with me and supporting the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. When you come across this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this video out. It only helps the channel grow. I see everybody in the comments. Hashtag salute. Appreciate you. So when you come across this video, like I always say, like I said before, please share it, like it, and subscribe. For today, this show is going to be interesting. Like I always say, before we get started,
another one.
It's another one. It's crazy. We know the Lakers are not in the playoffs no more, but LeBron James' name always finds a way to come back up in the media. And after the Game 4 loss to the Denver Nuggets when they got swept out of the Western Conference Finals, Kwame Brown strikes again. As y'all know, Kwame Brown went on a rampage a couple months back about the media. They brought up the thing about him being a bust, brought him back up relevant after 19, 20 years. He got back in the news. And Kwame Brown let everybody in the media have a piece of his mind. He went on a rampage. Then he kind of dwindled off. And now he's back in the news. After the Game 4 loss against the Denver Nuggets, Kwame Brown had some things to say about LeBron James' last play in the fourth quarter to close that game out. And the crazy thing about it is, I've never known Kwame to really talk this way about LeBron. Never knew how he really felt about LeBron until these recent comments came out. And that tells me a lot about where Kwame Brown is pertaining to what he thinks about LeBron James. And it's crazy that a lot of people just really bash LeBron James. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, like Bubba Dub says, man, the hate gotta stop. You just gotta appreciate the greatness. I mean, there's GOATs all over the basketball universe. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Kobe Bryant is a GOAT. LeBron James is a GOAT. But like I tell people, when you're talking about GOATs in basketball, they're the only three people that people mention in the media mentions. And I'm going to say like what Keyshawn Johnson said. Keyshawn Johnson said, it's the media's fault. It's like there's other things going on in sports. You never gave kudos to the Denver Nuggets, but it's always LeBron James in the headlines. The media always finds a way to start their shows off talking about LeBron James or anything that's affiliated with LeBron James. At this point, it was the Lakers. The Lakers was in the news every day because of LeBron James. And Keyshawn Johnson said it best. It's the media's fault. The talks are going to be about the Lakers and LeBron James. 17 championships for the Lakers, a historical franchise, one of the best players to ever play the game in LeBron James. And that's going to be headlines every day. And like I tell people, I'm glad when LeBron steps away, man. Then what's the media going to talk about? They'll still find a way to talk about LeBron James because now his son is going to USC. So his name is still going to be in the news. But let's get back to what really transpired over the day or two. Kwame Brown came out and made some comments. Let's listen to a clip of what Kwame Brown had to say and then what Shannon Sharpe said on Undisputed. And then we'll get back into that, and then we'll get back into what Kwame Brown had to say after Shannon Sharpe said what he had to say. Let's take a listen.
Off on LeBron failing to force overtime or win Game 4 against the Nuggets. Ooh, he didn't hold back. Check it out.
I have never seen a guy of your caliber, supposed caliber, you don't even get a shot off? You supposed to be the best scorer in the game. You got all these points. But you were looking for a bailout again. Kobe Bryant would have probably looked at it, rose up for a three, and won the game. Throughout history, people are going to, the little nerds are going to look up your stat line, and they're going to say, he got to be the greatest player that ever played the game. And people who actually play are going to know that is.
Tell us how you really feel, Kwame. Shannon, what's your reaction to his thoughts?
I just don't know what's his end game here. You talking about what Kobe would have done? What would you have done? What would you have done? You're the number one overall pick.
Yeah.
I don't get it because LeBron was in a no-win situation. People say, LeBron, why would you settle for a three? Why would you shoot a step back this? He drives the ball. Jamal Murray does a great job of tying him up. And even as he holds onto the ball, he's trying to get the shot up. Aaron Gordon blocks it. Now you're saying, well, he should have pulled up. It's easy to say what you should have done after the fact of knowing what has happened.
Yep.
And Skip, he said, you're supposed to be great? Really, Kwame, of all the people, he should never, ever question anybody's greatness. Because this is what we know. If there's a Mount Rushmore for busts in the NBA history, whether he's the first head, the second head, the third, or the fourth, he's on Mount Rushmore of bust NBA players. There's no question. And then he's going to question a guy that's, whether you say he's first, second, he's top five of the greatest players.
Man. So, guys, let me know what y'all's take is on that. Leave a comment, man, on what you just heard from what Kwame Brown said and what Shannon Sharpe said. Now, it's a lot to unpack in that little soliloquy. First, to what Kwame Brown said. Kwame Brown basically said that LeBron is not really a superstar. He's not tops in the NBA. He's not a top 10, a top 15 player the way he came across and the way he said it. He said supposed to be. I mean, you can take a lot from that. Like, basically, he's saying that LeBron is not it. LeBron is not that guy. LeBron is not tops or nothing. He said the little nerds are going to look up the stats and say, hey, he must have been the greatest basketball player to ever play because he's all-time NBA leading scorer. And he said some things of what Kobe Bryant would have did. You know, he'd have rose up and shot a three. Now, that's the knock right there because LeBron can't catch a break. If he would have shot the three, they would have said, well, why come you just didn't put your head down and drive to the basket? He's in a no-win situation. LeBron can't win for losing in game situations like that because whatever he does, they're going to say something he should have did the opposite. If he'd have drove to the basket and kicked to Anthony Davis, which Anthony Davis was wide open in that situation, they would have said, why'd he pass the ball up? He has to take that shot. So LeBron did what he did against Indiana. He got that same play, circle curl to the left side. Jamal Murray just had a lot of great help defense. And when he got the shot off, Aaron Gordon blocked it. So what was he supposed to do in that situation, like Shannon Sharpe said? And then Shannon Sharpe goes on to say, out of all people, you was the number one pick, but you was a bust. What would you have done in the situation? And Shannon Sharpe kind of let loose on Kwame Brown, rightfully so. But that was Kwame Brown's takes. I mean, that's how he feels about it. Like I said, I never knew, how he felt about LeBron as a basketball player, but in just that little soliloquy, he said a lot. So that lets you know that he don't care too much for LeBron James. For him to just go on his rampage and just really tear into LeBron James the way he did. And basically, he's always said that Shannon Sharpe was a fanboy. And Shannon Sharpe, when things happen and people talk about LeBron, you know, they come on their show and, you know, they have their takes. And it seems like when Shannon has his tapes about LeBron, it's always like, oh, you a fanboy. You get up in a crunch when somebody talks about LeBron. He's just stating his points, man. He's just giving his facts. He says a lot of things that make sense. And what Kwame did was kind of ruffle Shannon's feathers. And Shannon, they talked about it on Undisputed. So Shannon gave his little spiel. And Kwame didn't take too kind to that. So Kwame came back out with another statement or another rant, like I knew he was, because anytime somebody responds to Kwame, Kwame's going to come back and he's going to give it to him. And after the show, Kwame took exception to what Shannon Sharpe had to say. So let's take a listen to what Kwame had to say after Shannon let loose on him. It's some fireworks, man. It's some fireworks. But hey, these are Kwame's opinions. They Shannon Sharpe's opinions. But here we go again. We tearing each other down. But Kwame Brown is the one that came out and said that, you know, people in the media keep tearing all these black folks down, these black athletes down. But here you go, Kwame Brown. You just turned around and you wanted to tear Shannon Sharpe down. So let's take a listen to what Kwame had to say after Shannon's takes on Undisputed.
Shannon Sharpe. Hey, Shannon. Have you lost your God-loving mind, boy? You a guest in the house of this basketball talk. Didn't you know that? And now, since you don't want to act like a guest in this shit, and you want to invalidate me, you football playing dummy. Nigga, it ain't no first downs in basketball, clown. How you gonna try to invalidate a man who was the #1 draft pick, boy? You want to try to put some bass in your voice when you talking to me? When you on a panel with a nigga that buckled you down, boy? You on a panel with a white boy that blamed his coach for not making it to college, and you want to try to invalidate me, nigga? Are you a clown or what? I'm so glad that you just exposed yourself, you clown. You think you gonna put some bass in your voice when you talking to me, nigga? And that white boy made you say, oh, I'm just trying to let me finish. Let me finish. You a guest in this house of basketball, nigga. Ain't no first downs in motherfucking basketball, you big, tall, thick-tongued punk motherfucker. You a thick-tongued idiot. Did you not know that? Ain't no first downs in basketball, boy. So I don't know what make you think that your opinion on basketball is more than mine because you a fanboy for LeBron. You call me emotional and you was finna fight a whole goddamn Memphis Grizzlies team because of your love affair, LeBron. You the reason why John Morant probably carrying guns right now. John Morant was like, oh shit, a big ass nigga in a sweater, a grandmama sweater trying to fight his daddy in the hole.
Wow. Kwame Brown let loose, and it's wild at some of the things that he had to say, you know, using the language that he uses. But that's Kwame Brown. Anytime somebody reacts to what Kwame Brown says, Kwame Brown is going to come back and he's going to unleash. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. We've seen it with Gilbert Arenas. We've seen it with Stephen A. Like, Kwame Brown picks his battles where he think he's just going to run over somebody. And when somebody says something about Kwame Brown comes back and he's the one that gets all up in a bunch. He's the one that comes back with the vulgar stuff. And it's crazy that he said the things that he said about this is the reason why John Morant is carrying guns because of people like Shannon Sharpe. I found that far-fetched. He said some things like, how you gonna invalidate me? I was the #1 pick and you just a guest in this basketball thing. Well, over the years, Shannon Sharpe has been very knowledgeable about basketball. I don't care if you play football or not. He called him a big tongue dummy, an idiot, and said he gets emotional when it comes to LeBron James. Well, Kwame, you got emotional because Shannon Sharpe responded to the things that you said about LeBron on that last shot. So y'all going back and forth. It's a lot of, war words. And I just feel in this situation that, hey, rightfully so, Kwame, you got your opinions on how things should have went, how it should have unfolded, and how you feel about LeBron James. But everybody knows that Shannon Sharpe is a LeBron James fan. And when shows open up and they start talking about it, he gives his breakdown. He's not, sometimes he says LeBron needs to do this and needs to do that. I mean, it's not always one-sided. It's a lot of things that he says about LeBron that if people didn't know who Shannon Sharpe was and didn't know that he liked LeBron, they'd be like, well, dang, why is Shannon Sharpe bashing LeBron? So the words that Kwame said, I mean, he gave Shannon a tongue whipping. But Kwame Brown is always the one to say that, the media always tears down the black folks, but you trying to tear down Shannon Sharpe, man. Shannon Sharpe got a job to do. That's his job. That's why he's on Undisputed. I mean, it's certain things that Kwame said that I don't agree with, but there's some things that I do agree with. But at the same time, everybody has opinion on basketball players, football players, sports players, actors, actresses. Everybody has their own personal opinions. There's no right or wrong answers. That's why there are debate shows. But for what Kwame Brown came out and said, I just think he could have, toned it down a little bit. I mean, but that's his opinion. That's his right to come back at Shannon Sharpe because of Shannon Sharpe, what he said on Undisputed. But you guys let me know in the comments, man, how y'all feel about it. What's your take on the Kwame Brown and Shannon Sharpe back and forth? I just hope that Shannon don't respond to what Kwame came back and responded to. Just let it rest. That won't give Kwame Brown no more ammunition to do the things that he wants to do, because right now Kwame's trending. And the crazy thing about it is after the game 4 of the loss to Denver, LeBron was trending. So everybody had their take on what they wanted to say and how they felt about LeBron and the Lakers because they got swept. And after he made the statements of possibility of, retiring, he had a lot to think about. So everybody came out with their opinion. And Kwame Brown was the first one that came out and just gave LeBron a tongue lashing on what he should have did. But like I said, it's a catch-22. If he'd have shot the 3, everybody was saying, why he shoot the 3? He should have drove to the basket. So it's a catch-22 with LeBron. Like I tell people, LeBron don't give a damn on what people say about him. LeBron is going to continue to play the way he's always been playing. And it is what it is, man. So leave a comment down below on the situation between Kwame Brown and Shannon Sharpe. I want to know how y'all guys feel. I want to know what y'all's take is on what Kwame said and what Shannon Sharpe said, and then what Kwame responded to Shannon Sharpe. But like I said, man, when you come across this video, man, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And it's always a pleasure, man. And like I said, man, it's a journey, man. And the podcast is growing. And I couldn't do it without you guys. So I want to appreciate your time. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm the host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We'll catch you on the next one.
Another one.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.